$125,000 hours of flight experience, a totally Mexican leading company. That is Pegaso Air Transportation Services. We are ISO 9000 certified and a reliable supplier of services for Petróleos Mexicanos. We have been transporting Pemex workers for the past 30 years to the oil rigs in the Sound of Campeche. Welcome to Pegaso Air Transportation Services. You are flying on an EC155 helicopter with a capacity for 12 passengers on board. We will now explain to you the procedures to be followed to guarantee your safety and that of the other passengers. Once you are given your boarding pass and your belongings have been checked, we will invite you to the waiting room for your assigned flight. The operations officer will indicate the moment when everything is ready for boarding. Your boarding pass will be asked for at the exit of the waiting room. Keep it at hand all the time. You will be told the right route to approach the helicopter. At that moment, you must keep or take off anything that may be blown away when approaching the aircrafts. Caps, bags, sunglasses, etc. The operations officer will indicate the right route to approach the aircraft. You should always approach the helicopter from the front in the pilot's visual field, never from the rear of the aircraft, as you can see in the following diagram. The green area indicates the safe areas, always in front of the aircraft, in the pilot's visual field, never from the rear. The red area indicates the danger area. An aircraft with a rotating wing can cause an accident. Once you are next to the helicopter, wait until the operations officer gives you a life jacket which you must put on before boarding the aircraft. And you have to wear it during the entire journey. In case you have baggage, you should tell the operations officer so that your belongings are put in the corresponding compartment at the back of the helicopter. After that, you will be instructed to board the aircraft using the step. Do not step on the floating devices of the helicopter because your shoes could damage them. Once you are on board, sit down and immediately buckle up your seatbelt. The seatbelt should remain buckled during the entire journey. This EC155 helicopter has 4-point seatbelts. You will know the seatbelt is properly adjusted when you hear a click. After the operations officer has made sure the passengers have properly adjusted their seatbelts, he will shut the door and make sure it is properly shut. Then, he will indicate takeoff can start. If you notice the door is not properly shut, tell the pilot immediately in order for him to check it. During the flight, it is very important that you leave the life jackets and the seatbelts fastened and on. You must, by no reason, take them off. If you notice that there is an uncommon situation inside or outside the aircraft, tell the pilot immediately and follow his instructions. In case of an emergency, do not act on your own. Follow the indications of the trained personnel on board of the aircraft. Once the helicopter has landed, wait until the pilot indicates you can release your seatbelt. The operations officer will open the door and then you will be able to get off the aircraft. Once on the ground, you can take off the life jacket and give it to the operations officer or leave it inside the helicopter. In case your belongings have been kept in the baggage compartment, tell the pilot or the operations officer so that they are given to you. Walk away from the aircraft. Remember that the side and the front of the aircraft are the safest areas to go. If you have a cap or glasses or a scarf, do not wear them immediately. Wait until you are far enough from the aircraft. During the flight and while performing the procedures such as approaching, boarding, and descending from the aircraft, it is strictly prohibited to smoke or use a cell phone. In case of an emergency landing, it is important to take into account the following recommendations. Make sure your seatbelt is properly adjusted. Adopt the brace position. Put your hands and head on your knees. When you descend, please wait until the helicopter is positioned on the oil rig or the heliport before opening the doors. Get off the plane and walk to the front in an orderly manner. In this aircraft, all the windows work as emergency exits. Unlatch and pull the strap that is at the base of the windows and push to the corner. Using 20 to 30 psi, the windows will fall out. In order to open the door in case of an emergency, push with your hands the points marked on the upper sides. Try to equal the force so that it can be easily pushed out. If you have any question, check the safety briefing card on board of the helicopter. In case of sea landing, stay calm and follow the pilot's instructions. He will inflate the helicopter's floating devices and will make the craft descend. Identify the activation cords in your life jacket, but do not activate them until you are told to do so. In order to activate the life jacket, pull the cords at the front of the jacket and this will inflate automatically. In case the jacket does not inflate, you can do so by blowing into the tubes at the front and side of the jacket. Leave the aircraft only until the rotors have stopped. For overwater flights, every aircraft has 2 rafts installed outside the helicopter. The rafts can be found in the lower part of the access doors and will be activated from the cabin. In case of an emergency, the passengers can also activate the raft by pulling the lever, which is outside the access doors. Once in the water, if you are wearing heavy or pointed shoes, you must take them off before getting on the raft. We ask you to thoroughly follow all of the safety rules in order to make your flight safe and enjoyable. Your safety and comfort are a priority for Pegaso Air Transportation Services.